Okay, for today's project, we're going to build a scratch pad using the CNC router. To start things off, you're going to want to go to www.inventables.com. From there, it should take you to a screen that looks something like this. Once here, you're going to want to go up to the top of the screen and click on Easel. This will give you the design software that the CNC runs on. And you're going to click on the Explore Easel tab. It'll take you to the next screen, sign in through Inventables, which we'll want to do. Now, if you signed in before, you can go ahead and use your sign-in login. If not, you're going to just want to follow up and just click on I'm a new customer. It'll ask you for a few questions, and then it'll set up an account for you. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and set out I'm a returning customer. I've got my password in, and hit continue. From there, it's going to take you to a screen that will have the design software. Now here's all the projects I've built before. We're going to go ahead and click on New Project because it's going to be a new project for us. To start my design project, I'm going to click on the Untitled here, and we're going to rename this Scratch Pad. And that way, moving forward, when I look at different files that I have, it'll always go back to that Scratch Pad. Next thing I'm going to want to do is click on the machine and make sure that's set to Carvey, which it is. And then I'm going to click on the material and change this to MDF because that's what I'm going to be using for this project. I can click through here and see the different type of materials, and I'm going to click on the MDF board. When I look at my preview, it looks pretty much like MDF board, which is kind of nice. Finally, I'm going to click on my bit size, and the bit size I'm going to use is a 1/16 end mill, which we'll go ahead and click on here. Finally, changed the material dimensions. Now this is the actual material that I'm going to be using in the machine. For our project, you're going to be handed a piece of material that's going to have an X size of 8 inches, which is from left to right. The horizontal Y, which is the top to bottom, will be 6 inches. And finally, our thickness, which is extremely important for this project, is going to be 0.25. And we'll talk about that later when we talk about the milling of the piece itself. But now when I look at my preview, this is the piece of material I have. Here's what it's going to look like in my design view. So this will give me kind of a guide as far as anything I design on the outside won't be picked up by the machine. But we're ready to start designing our pieces. As I design, there's a couple of notes to make. One is this red area here. This is the clamp inside the machine. It matches up to where the machine clamps on the piece of wood. And that way it kind of holds that piece of material in place. It'll be along these edges. Now where I see the brown or the gray area is going to be the actual clamp. That's where it actually clamps onto my material. Where I see red is kind of a warning area. I don't want to really put anything in this red area because it will kind of hit that clamp area. If I'm trying to get in some tight areas, it just won't do it. So I want to design on the outside of this red area.